Now, we've spent the last couple of years on this program actually speaking to communities all over Australia affected by gigantic renewable energy projects, solar farms and wind turbines, also transmission lines tearing through their properties. Tomorrow, a grassroots group is going to descend on Parliament House in Canberra for the Reckless Renewables Rally, hoping to have their voices heard. One project that's got locals worried is a proposal for 145 wind turbines to be built at Campbells Bridge. That's 15 kilometres northwest of Stawell in the Wimmera of Western Victoria. The project spread across 14,000 hectares of prime farmland used for cropping and grazing. Andrew Weidemann is one of the founding directors of Grain Producers Australia. He also heads up the Southern Wimmera Renewables Research Association. Thanks for joining us, Andrew. Great to talk about this issue. The Western Victoria seems to be an absolute focus for wind energy projects. Why are you opposed to this one?
Well, look, Chris, we've certainly got a lot of concerns around the proposed renewable energy scheme, and particularly the merits of the current RWA's move, which is essentially a coal mining company in Germany trying to buy offsets here in our local area, in the local community. But in terms of renewables, I think the biggest story is about where do they fit today in the Australian landscape. And we've got real concerns around reclamation, rehabilitation at the end of the life of these windmills. We know that in other countries around the world, they're moving faster towards a nuclear or a potential hydrogen type model, which I think that's the future myself, rather than building all of this infrastructure and then somebody having the concerns down the track, and certainly my grandchildren having to worry about cleaning up the mess that could potentially be in this area that we're farming at the moment, and obviously taking up a lot of country that is quite valuable in terms of its outputs. And we just need to make sure that we get the appropriate protocols, the environmental plans in place to try and avoid another catastrophe, as some areas have already focused on overseas.
Well, but this is the problem, right? It's all going into prime agricultural land. Now, your neck of the woods is very beautiful, but it's also very, very productive. And there are windmills and transmission lines going right through it, all the way down, obviously, to Melbourne, down through Ballarat and the potato growing areas as well. And I know that the protesters tomorrow in Canberra will also focus on Goulburn, not far from Canberra, prime agricultural land. They're putting in massive solar farms there, covering what's great arable land, covering it with bloody solar panels. It seems like madness.
Yeah, look, it does. And from a farmer's point of view, I mean, we don't begrudge anybody wanting to make money out of the wind farms themselves potentially, but the reality is it's at what cost, and really does this really fit? I mean, ultimately the plan is to make Australia almost zero carbon by 2030. Well, it's going to be impossible at the rate this is going. And if you start to look at it, and your program and other programs have already highlighted the inequity in terms of the way that this is being promoted at the moment, and particularly by Chris Bowen, who doesn't seem to want to listen to anybody else in regards to this or the impact.
He's Walter Mitty. He thinks he's saving the planet. Thanks for joining us, Andrew Weidemann. I appreciate your time. Good luck with your efforts.